Let me ask you something. Have you ever swiped your debit card at the grocery store, maybe at the pharmacy, or even at the gas pump, and walked away without giving it a second thought? You trusted the machine. You trusted the system. But deep down, did you ever wonder, is my money really safe? What if I told you there's a new trick spreading fast, one that doesn't require anyone to steal your wallet, doesn't need your PIN number, and doesn't even need you to hand over your card? A trick so sneaky, you could be standing in line, paying for your milk or your medicine, and someone nearby could be quietly draining your account without you ever knowing. For seniors, this is especially serious. Every single dollar matters. You worked hard for that money. You saved carefully. You budget your retirement. But losing even a little bit, because of some invisible scam, could mean skipping a meal, missing a prescription refill, or having to choose between paying the light bill and buying groceries. And that's not fair. This scam is called ghost tapping. And here's the frightening part, it's practically invisible. No broken machines. No stolen card. No warning signs flashing on your bank screen. Just quiet, sneaky charges that show up later, when it's already too late. That's why you need to hear this. In this video, I'm going to break it all down for you. You'll discover exactly what ghost tapping is, how these scammers use it, the red flags you must look out for, and most importantly, what steps you can take right now to protect yourself and your loved ones from losing the money you depend on. And before we dive deeper, I want you to do something simple. Comment "I'm listening" below if you want to stay one step ahead of scammers. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide so you never miss these life-changing tips that keep you informed, empowered, and in control. But let me give you a little warning up front, what you're about to hear might surprise you. Because here's the truth, if you miss these warning signs, it's not just your money that's at risk. It's your peace of mind. It's your independence. And that's why, after watching this, I encourage you to check out the 29 Days to Reclaim Your Confidence challenge in the description below. It's already helping seniors everywhere stay one step ahead, financially, physically, and emotionally, before it's too late. So, let's get started. Now let's talk about what ghost tapping actually is, because the more you understand it, the better you can protect yourself. Picture this. You're at a cozy little coffee shop. You've got your card in hand. You tap it on the machine to pay for your cup of coffee, and everything seems normal. The receipt prints, you grab your drink, and you walk away. But here's what you don't realize, while you're sipping that coffee, someone just a few feet away has a hidden device, and in that moment, your card gave off enough information for them to ghost tap it. They didn't touch you. They didn't even get close enough to raise suspicion. And yet, they now have the ability to make charges as if they were you. This is what makes ghost tapping so dangerous. It uses the very same technology that's supposed to make life easier, contactless payments, those quick tap-and-go transactions. That technology is called NFC, or near-field communication. It was designed for speed and convenience. But scammers have found a way to twist it to their advantage. They carry small scanners, sometimes hidden in a phone, sometimes in a bag, that can trick your card into authorizing a charge. And here's the scary part, no PIN required. No warning. No alarms. Just a quiet transfer of your hard-earned money. And here's where many people get it wrong. You might think, well, I never give my card to anyone, so I'm safe. But with ghost tapping, you don't need to hand your card over at all. You could be standing in line, sitting on a bus, or walking through a store, and if your card is close enough, a scammer's device can reach it. They don't even need to touch your wallet or purse. Just being near you could be enough. So, what can you do? Thankfully, there are simple steps. One of the easiest ways to protect yourself is by using a card sleeve or wallet that blocks RFID signals. These sleeves are inexpensive and can stop scanners from picking up your card's information. Another option, if you rarely use tap to pay, is to call your bank and ask them to disable contactless payments altogether. That way, the technology scammers rely on simply won't work on your card. Because here's the bottom line, this trick only works if your card is unprotected and open to those signals. With just a little precaution, you can shut that door before scammers even get a chance. And here's where ghost tapping becomes even trickier. It's not always about one big, obvious charge that makes you panic right away. No, the people behind this scam are a lot more patient, and a lot more clever than that. Let me give you an example. A senior gentleman I spoke with told me he had lost hundreds of dollars. But here's the strange part, it didn't vanish all at once. It wasn't like someone swooped in and drained his entire account overnight. No. It was $4 here, $7 there, maybe $9 the next week. Tiny little amounts, the kind most people might brush off or not even notice. By the time he realized what was happening, his account was nearly empty. This is the strategy these scammers use. They know that if they try to steal $500 in one shot, alarms will go off at the bank. Fraud departments might catch it right away. But if they take just a few dollars at a time, it slides under the radar. Many seniors, especially those on fixed incomes, see a small discrepancy and think, oh, it's just a bank fee, or maybe I miscalculated. And in that small moment of doubt, the scammer wins. Now, here's a common belief I hear from families all the time, oh, don't worry, the bank will catch it automatically. I hate to tell you this, but that's not always true. Banks are set up to look for suspicious patterns, but these tiny charges, often disguised to look like normal transactions, can slip by undetected for weeks, sometimes even months. By the time anyone catches on, the thief is long gone, and your money is already spent. So, what can you do about it? The key is vigilance. Don't wait for the bank to call you. Instead, take control. Set a reminder to check your bank statements every single week. Look closely, not just at the big numbers, but at the little ones too. If you see a $3 charge that doesn't make sense, don't ignore it. Question it. Call your bank and ask them to explain where it came from. And if you're comfortable with technology, set up text or email alerts for your debit card. Most banks now let you get a message every single time your card is used, whether it's for $3 or $300. That way, nothing slips past you. Because remember, ghost tapping thrives on being unnoticed. It feeds on the idea that you won't catch those tiny amounts. But if you shine a light on them, you take away the scammer's greatest weapon, silence. And here's the thing, if the charges seem small and innocent at first, wait until you hear about the way scammers hide behind fake merchant names. That's where the real deception begins. Picture this. You sit down at your kitchen table with your monthly statement. You're scanning through the list of charges, and suddenly you notice one from a place called Sunny Groceries. You pause for a moment, but then you think, oh, that must be the little market down the street where I bought milk last week. So, you shrug it off and move on. But here's the problem, there may not even be a Sunny Groceries near you. That name could be completely fake. And this is exactly how scammers trick you. They set up what's called a shell business. On paper, it looks like a store or a cafe. Sometimes they'll even choose names that sound very ordinary, very familiar, or just close enough to something real that you won't second guess it. By the time you connect the dots, the thief has already gotten away with your money. This is why ghost tapping is so effective. It doesn't look like fraud. It doesn't scream, warning. Someone is stealing from you. Instead, it blends in with the rest of your life. And that's what makes it so dangerous. Now, a lot of people assume, if there's a name on my statement, it has to be legitimate. The bank wouldn't allow something fake. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Banks process millions of transactions every day. They don't stop and verify whether every single merchant name is a real, physical business that you personally walked into. Scammers know this, and they exploit it. So, what's the solution? It comes down to being your own watchdog. When you look at your statement, don't just skim it. Match the names you see to actual receipts in your wallet, or the places you know you went. And don't be fooled by names that are close but not exact. If your receipt says Johnson's Pharmacy, but your statement says J. Pharma Services, don't ignore that difference. Call the store directly. Ask if the charge is theirs. And if something feels off, pick up the phone and call your bank right away. Remember, scammers depend on your trust. They depend on you seeing a normal-looking name and letting it slide. But when you start paying attention, when you question the details, you make it much harder for them to get away with it. And here's where it gets even scarier. Sometimes, the ghost tap doesn't even happen at a store or through a fake business name at all. Sometimes, it happens in the most ordinary, everyday public spaces, and you don't even realize it. Let me paint a picture for you. Because this is where ghost tapping starts to feel almost unreal. Imagine you're riding the bus. You've got your purse on your lap or maybe your wallet tucked into your coat pocket. A person brushes past you as they make their way down the aisle. You think nothing of it, it's crowded, people bump into each other, no big deal. But what if that small bump wasn't an accident at all? What if, in that split second, they had a hidden scanner that quietly reached through your bag and tapped into your debit card without you ever noticing? This is the unsettling reality. Ghost tapping doesn't only happen at store machines. It can happen anywhere. Airports, shopping malls, buses, even while standing in line at the post office. Anywhere people gather, scammers can blend right in with the crowd. All they need is a little handheld device, sometimes hidden in a backpack, sometimes built into a phone case, and as long as they get close enough, your card becomes vulnerable. And here's where the misconception comes in. Many people believe, oh, my card's safe. It's inside my wallet. It's zipped up in my bag. No one can touch it. But that's the scary truth. Regular wallets and purses don't stop these signals. NFC scanners don't need to touch your card directly. The signal can pass through fabric, leather, even layers of clothing. To a scammer, it's like fishing in a pond. You don't see them, but they're still pulling something valuable right out of your pocket. So, what can you do? The good news is, there are protections. Special RFID blocking wallets, card sleeves, or pouches are designed to shield your card from these invisible scans. They create a kind of barrier, so even if someone tries to ghost tap, the signal can't get through. They're not expensive, and for the peace of mind they provide, they're worth every penny. Another smart step is to keep your card separate when you travel. Don't carry every debit or credit card you own in the same wallet. If one gets compromised, at least you have a backup untouched. And be extra cautious in high-traffic places, airports, train stations, buses, malls, anywhere you're shoulder to shoulder with strangers. Scammers love crowds because it's easy to get close without being noticed. Think about it, most of us lower our guard in public because we assume people brushing past us is just normal. But for a scammer, that's the perfect opportunity. They're counting on your trust, your distraction, your assumption that your card is safe just because it's zipped inside a bag. And once they've captured your data, once they've gotten past that invisible line of defense, what they do next can drain your account before you even realize it. Let me share a story with you, because this is where the illusion of safety becomes most dangerous. A retired teacher, let's call her Mrs. Anderson, always believed her money was safe. Her bank had assured her over and over again. Don't worry, if there's ever fraud, you'll be protected. And for years, she took comfort in that. But one day, ghost tapping hit her account. Small charges slipped by unnoticed at first. Then one morning, her rent payment bounced. The utility bills stacked up. And when she finally went to the bank, they told her, yes, we can help, but it will take time to investigate. Weeks passed before her funds were returned. And during those weeks, she faced late fees, stressful phone calls, and sleepless nights worrying about whether she'd have enough to buy groceries. She thought she had security. But what she really had was a false sense of protection. This is the hard truth: banks can reimburse fraud. But the process is not instant. Investigations take time. Sometimes days. Sometimes weeks. And while the bank works through their process, you're left carrying the weight, stress, frustration, and the very real possibility of unpaid bills piling up. The biggest misconception is this. Many believe, if something goes wrong, my bank will fix it right away. But not always. There are delays. There are procedures. And during those delays, life doesn't stop. The landlord still expects rent. The pharmacy still wants payment. The light company doesn't care that your bank is investigating, they just see a missed payment. So, what does this mean for you? It means prevention is far more powerful than relying on reimbursement. If you don't regularly use contactless payments, consider turning them off completely through your bank. You'd be surprised how many people never use Tap to Pay, yet leave the feature active, making themselves easy targets. Another wise move is keeping a backup account. Something simple, a small savings or secondary checking account, so that if one account is frozen during an investigation, you're not left stranded. That backup can mean the difference between calm and crisis. And remember, this isn't just about dollars and cents. When scams hit, they don't just take your money. They take your peace of mind. They chip away at your sense of independence. They leave you second-guessing yourself, doubting whether you can manage things the way you used to. Which brings us to something even more important, because what we're really talking about here isn't just money. It's your security. It's your confidence. It's your independence, the very things that make life feel steady and safe. And this is exactly why I created something special for you. Because here's the truth, small problems, like a $4 ghost charge or a delayed reimbursement, can snowball into much bigger consequences. Stress. Missed payments. Sleepless nights. And yes, even health issues, because anxiety doesn't just stay in the mind, it affects the body too. That's why I designed the 29 Days to Reclaim Your Confidence for Seniors Health Challenge. In just 10 minutes a day, you'll not only strengthen your body, but also rebuild your peace of mind. So you feel prepared for challenges like this, whether they're financial, emotional, or even physical. This is about more than fraud protection. It's about giving you back the calm assurance that you can handle whatever life throws your way. The link is right there in the description. Don't wait for a scam, a fall, or a financial scare to force you into action. Start building your confidence and security today. It's heartbreaking, truly heartbreaking, to see what happens when scams like ghost tapping don't just steal money, but steal something far more personal. Trust. I've spoken with seniors who told me, I feel foolish for not catching it sooner. Others said, I don't want to tell my family, they'll think I can't handle my own finances anymore. And that is perhaps the cruelest part of all. The scam itself wasn't their fault. Yet the shame, the embarrassment, the weight of self-blame, that's what lingers. But let me pause here and tell you something important. You are not helpless. In fact, the moment you choose to learn about scams like ghost tapping, you are already 2 steps ahead of the people trying to take advantage of you. Knowledge is power. Awareness is defense. And the simple act of watching this video right now means you're not a passive target, you're actively building protection around your money, your independence, and your peace of mind. So, here's what I want you to do, today, don't put it off. Grab your latest bank statement, whether on paper or online, and scan through it carefully. Look not just for big, obvious charges, but for the tiniest ones. $1 here, $3 there. Because ghost tappers thrive on being invisible. They slip under your radar by being small. But those small charges are red flags, and catching them early could save you hundreds, even thousands, down the road. And I want you to remember this: you don't have to face these challenges alone. You don't need to carry the weight of financial fear in silence. You can still feel safe. You can still feel strong. You can still be confident. And if you ever need a structured, supportive way to rebuild that confidence, the 29 Days Challenge is right there, ready to guide you, step by step, toward peace of mind. Now let's recap everything we've learned today, because clarity is the first line of defense. Ghost tapping works silently, hiding in plain sight. It begins with small charges designed to be overlooked. It hides behind fake merchant names that seem familiar. It happens in public places where hidden devices can skim your card without you even noticing. And even when the bank eventually helps, delays in reimbursement can leave you stressed, vulnerable, and scrambling to cover essential bills. But here's the good news: prevention is in your hands. By staying alert, by checking your statements regularly, by using protective tools like RFID blocking wallets, and by limiting unnecessary contactless features, you are taking back control. And now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever noticed a strange little charge on your account and brushed it off, thinking it was nothing? Share your experience in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. Because when we share, we don't just help ourselves, we help the whole community stay stronger, safer, and more aware. And if this video helped you, take a second to subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide. This channel is here for you, with insights, practical tips, and encouragement designed specifically for seniors who want to protect their health, their finances, and their independence. But please, don't just click away and think, "I'll get to it later." Every week you wait is another week scammers get smarter. Every day delayed is another opportunity for a ghost charge to slip under your radar. Go right now to the description, click the link for the 29 days to reclaim your confidence challenge, and start today. Because protecting yourself isn't just about keeping your money safe, it's about keeping your freedom. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay confident, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.